you saw my posting on John TV with Mr. French's picture and what had happened. You reached out to me. You immediately knew who this guy was. You've been involved in the life in the past. Tell me how you know Mr. French and what your experience was.
Back in, I want to say 2000, probably springtime, I was on Seeking Arrangement, and he reached out to me wanting to make an appointment as far as, being a sugar daddy and all that. When I arrived at his house, which was in Yukon at the time, he led me into this room that was kind of like a man cave. It just had like a black leather couch. And there were some boxes and a big screen TV. And so when I asked him about the picture that I saw as I was walking in of him and his wife, he said that they were in the process of getting a divorce and I didn't have anything to worry about. Then he proceeded to kind of talk to me more on a business line, not more of like a sugar daddy line. And I am a smart individual, and so I kind of knew what was going on. And he did offer me $200 to see him. And so when he did that, he wanted to see me on a regular basis. And he never tried to, say anything about any other sites or anything like that. But I just got that vibe, and I knew exactly what his intentions were. And so I got the hell out of there.
What kind of house was he living in?
I want to say it was probably like a 3-bedroom. Literally, whenever I walked in, the man cave room was to the right. Like you would walk down a little hallway, but the kitchen was to the left. It was a big kitchen, and the living room was right there in the center of the house. And then there was like a little guest bedroom on the other wing of the house that I could see the door was open, and then there was like a bathroom in the middle. But it was a nicer home for sure.
Because he's in like a $330,000 home. Would you say this one was comparable?
When I saw the picture that was posted on your flyer, I knew the house in Yukon looked very similar.
So he has you come out. I mean, Seeking Arrangements. It's people. It's typically guys with money that are looking to spend it. Girls who want to make some money being in the company of these guys. But in your opinion, that he was using that as a cover to try to recruit girls into his little ring, criminal ring that he was doing. And, I've published that on the article on John TV. And so was that, in your opinion, exactly what he was trying to do with you?
Absolutely. And I know other people who he's done that with. So when I saw the ad and I saw his face, and I knew exactly, because I know other people that he has managed, and that's what they were called, as his, he was their manager.
And to help people understand, because immediately you're going to get people that are going, well, okay, I don't get it. Why would someone who's already on Seeking Arrangements, meeting up with guys with money, why would they even want a quote unquote manager, pimp, whatever? What would be their reason to meet up with him and decide to try to do this?
The number one is safety. There are some women out there that don't understand that lifestyle. They don't understand what they're doing. And if somebody that is weak-minded goes to see somebody like him and he's manipulative and he directs them in a certain way, then they're going to think that they have safety. And I know for a fact that he took 50% of everything that these girls were doing, if not more.
Right, and that's actually something I didn't reveal in my article, but that's in the indictment paperwork, is that he was taking 50% of whatever they made. And again, you're going to get people that are going to say, wait a minute. So you're talking about girls who are already involved in prostitution, and they're basically agreeing to have a guy who's going to find more clients for them and provide protection. That's not human trafficking, in a lot of people's opinion. Now, my fear, and what I believe from reading the court documents was actually happening, was he was also meeting up with a lot of women who weren't, I'm going to say technically, in the lifestyle. They were really looking for one sugar daddy to pay a few bills, and before they know it, they got hooked up with him, and he was turning them out so that they didn't have one boyfriend. They were seeing several different guys at a time and getting themselves into a situation that they could not easily get out of. Do you think that's probably what was going on?
Absolutely, because the majority of them were college girls that didn't know what they were doing, and they see money, and maybe they grew up, in poverty or whatever the case was, but Yeah, absolutely. He took advantage of that situation. So regardless of how people want to label it, it's still human trafficking. It's pimping and pandering. I mean, that's what it is. He takes advantage of women's minds and their bodies.
And I know we've talked a little bit sort of off the record, but you've mentioned some names to me. You know, I've been doing John TV for over 20 years, and you've mentioned some names to me that I'm familiar with. So this isn't just, you know, you went out there, met with him and these red flags. I'm assuming after that and through talking with other people, you found out that he actually did run into some girls that you knew in the life that for whatever reason did start going to work for him and kind of got themselves in a bad way with him.
Absolutely. I know at least 5. And I know where he got apartments in his name and everything. I mean, there's a lot of information that I know just from, you know, third parties that it all adds up.
And what did you ever hear anything about any sort of violence or girls who wanted to get out but they either couldn't because of physical threats or he had them strung out? Or are you familiar with any of those sorts of stories or anything out there?
Oh, absolutely. There's one girl. I don't know if you want me to mention her pseudo name, but you know, she got strung out on meth really bad, and he took advantage of that. And he ended up beating the crap out of her, and he dropped her. You know, so she had nowhere to go. She didn't know what to do. You know, and she ended up getting sober, and she's no longer in that lifestyle.
Right. Well, this is still a brand new case. He's being held on $1 million bond. Ever hear anything? I know at the time when you met up with him, he said that he was getting a divorce from his wife. He's actually, you know, with his wife now. It looks like she's a registered nurse. Have you ever heard anything about her from any of the other girls in the life, as husband is or anything?
No, not at all.
Do you think there's any way he could have been running this operation and her at least not know what was going on?
Absolutely not. Not if he had went into his house.
Right.
Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that came to his house. And he had cameras, so there's no way she didn't know.
Right. And he, according to court documents, has showed no verifiable income since 2016. Yet they live in a $330,000 house and she's a nurse.
Right.
And I don't know if she'll ever get charged or what her, how much involvement she directly had in it or not. But I want to thank you for reaching out to me and giving me the information. We had talked briefly. You'd given me some details. I didn't really share much with you. After going through the court documents, I realized, wow, so much of what you told me is exactly what these girls testified to, which told me you knew exactly what you were talking about and you had indeed encountered this person. And so I wanted to give the opportunity for the people that go out there and go to John TV and rely on John TV to get all the facts, to hear kind of firsthand how this person operated. So I thank you for getting in touch with me and letting me know, and just please stay safe out there.
All right. Well, thank you.